Hello, Gregg the Sueur for online tennis instruction. And here's a tip to help you with your topspin ground strokes and the proper use of your shoulder, which will lead to more accuracy, consistency, and better topspin where the ball actually spins end over end. And what happens, a lot of players will tend to rotate the shoulder too early. And you can see as I do this, the strings will start to point to the opposite court very quickly. When in actual fact, if you look at the best players in the world, they actually lift the shoulder through contact. You see, as I do that, the strings will point forward longer, giving you a longer hitting zone, but also because they're moving from low to high, it's going to cause the ball to most likely spin more end over end, giving you better topspin. We'll have that more of that downward pressure, so it'll give you more control and consistency. Now, whether you're hitting a forehand, you still want to lift from the shoulder through contact, a one-handed backhand, or a two-handed backhand, you want to lift the non-dominant shoulder. So if I'm right-handed, the left shoulder up through the contact point, giving that longer hitting zone. So you can work on this right now at home using a tip I learned from Vic Braden, and that's where you want to think of lifting your shoulder up to your chin. Now you want to make sure you keep a nice loose shoulder housing as you do this. A lot of people will tense the shoulder and they hike the shoulder up like this. That's something you want to avoid. And some players will actually bring the chin down to the shoulder, which is something you definitely don't want to do. But to start off with, what I want you to do is start on your forehand. Place your hand on your shoulder like this. So I've got my left hand on the shoulder. Rotate the shoulders or the racket around the body here. We call it more of a horizontal swing. Feel how the shoulder is working. Then think of lifting the shoulder, where it's more vertical from low to high. Just feel how that shoulder is working. So start with that. And then you want to do shadow swings where you're bringing the shoulder up to the chin while keeping a nice loose shoulder housing. And this gives you kinesthetic feedback, so when you're out on the court, you can actually feel that you've done it correctly. You can do the same thing on the backhand. So on the two-handed backhand, you're going to think about the left shoulder coming up to your chin. Again, keeping it nice and loose. And on the one-hander, you're simply going to just think of swinging straight up from the shoulder. Unfortunately, you won't get the same feedback, but think of that shoulder socket rising through contact. Now, this is a little bit of an exaggeration, but I find this helps a lot of players who have this issue of rotating the shoulder too early and having a lot of mishits and a very short hitting zone, is you want to think of getting the hand about shoulder height, where the racket tip is still pointing to the outside before you relax the swing across your body, right? The two-handed backhand, this is more of an exaggeration, but if you're having this issue, just think of trying to get the hand a little more in line with the shoulder, again, racket tip to the outside before you release the swing this way. We do find the backhand that we don't get the racket as high, but if you are having this issue, often it's very good to over-exaggerate corrections so you find the middle ground. Now, once you've done your shadow swings, one way you can really enhance your at-home training and shadow swings is with the Billie Jean King eye coach. So what this does is it gives your shadow swing something to strike. So when you're playing tennis, you want to strike the ball. So this is going to give you that at home. All right, so the first progression after shadow swings is to use this as a stationary ball. And I'm going to demonstrate this with my forehand. So I'm going to set up, my focus is on keeping a nice loose shoulder and bringing the shoulder up to the chin. So I'm ready here, and stop the ball. That way I can set up and process. All right, and the nice thing about the eye coach, it also helps prevent you from looking up too early because the ball is attached to this arm, so it's not leaving your strings. So when you keep your head still, it'll help you have cleaner contact, which will also lead to less unforced errors. So this is kind of key what we're working on, lifting from the shoulder. Now, if you want to increase the difficulty a little bit, you can use what we call a 6 count. So you have a little more time, but the ball is moving, so you have to react to that time. So if I just start the ball going, it's 1, 2, 3 over this power ball, 4, 5, and then 6. It's back over here. Okay, so watch that again. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. So I have a little more time. So I want to keep the feet moving. Got my focus here. I'm going to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So that allows you to perfect the stroke, and then you can increase the difficulty where you hit it on a 3 count. And that's where the ball has been programmed to come back over this power bar every 2 seconds, which simulates very closely to a pro rally tempo. So you have time pressure so that the skills you're working on at home will translate faster and more easily out on the course. Just watch the 3 count. So I'm ready over here, feet are always moving. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Think about that shoulder to the chin. Now you can take it up one more level where you alternate between hitting a forehand ground stroke and a backhand ground stroke on the 3 count. So I'm going to focus on lifting the shoulder through to the chin and staying nice and loose. And ready here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, in a small space like this, you're able to get a very good workout, but also work on your game. And with the Billie Jean King Eye Coach, you can translate that at-home training onto the court more quicker and easier. Now remember this, if you're having issues with unforced errors where you have a short hitting zone, maybe you're lacking accuracy or topspin, remember you want to be thinking of lifting from the shoulder through contact on your topspin ground strokes.